Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of a Wild Time podcast. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Bo's Tractor Works, Appalachian Hills 11, the salve that has been helping everybody from the elderly around here to professional wrestlers to athletes. So thank you, Bo, and your crew for always sponsoring us. And it's always a pleasure to get together with Bo. Bo's Tractor Works, and also my good buddy Richard Burchett from Weird Ass Hot Dogs. Everybody get over. They were at McDowell today, and they were there until they sold out. So add them on Facebook. That way you can follow them and get over and get you a weird blank hot dog. So tonight, we're going to do something a little different. Tonight, my guest is my lovely wife, Lindsay. We did this once when we first started a Wild Time podcast, and it was well received. A lot of people called for a sequel to this, and I figured this would be the week to do it. So we had people drop us a bunch of questions, and we're going to answer them. Random questions, anything. Like I said, it could be anything. And tonight's original concept was going to have us in pajamas, and I still am. I got my Friday the 13th pajamas on. She was supposed to put hers.
I couldn't find any pajamas, but I did find my favorite Beagle shirt. So.
You remember when Rocky seen that? Rocky seen that shirt here. I thought Lindsay had a killer Beagle shirt on it. It says the Beagles. But anyways.
Go follow Beagle Freedom Project if you want to help the Beagles.
Yeah, we've become a big, what's
Beagle
it called?
Supporter.
Well, not just a Beagle supporter, but we've become advocates for Beagle freedom. These dogs have been tested on. Give them the lowdown. They're all been tested on, and it's inhumane what they do to them. Some of them's never even touched grass. And when you see the video of them finally touching grass and getting to play, it's some of the most, what words am I looking at? Touching? Some of the most touching moments. And I used to not be a dog guy. Used to not. Is that a word? It is not. I used to not be that big of a dog guy, but since we got Champ, our lives have changed. It's a different world when you wake up and you've got a Beagle in the bed with you. What do you got anything to say about Champ, the Beagle, our dog?
He's my baby.
It's her baby. I call him the Great Beagle. But tonight, like I said, we've got some Q&As, some fun questions. They've been adding up all week, actually.
And I've not seen any of these, so every answer you get from me is going to be
honest,
real.
Well, that's what we want. We don't want that. Listen, I'm Adam Newsome.
You probably went through all these and planned out what you was going to say.
Anybody that knows me knows I'm a loose cannon. I'm unpredictable. Anything can come out of this mouth at any time. I mean, I could just.
That's true.
You never know. Sometimes it might be words mixed up or messed up.
All right, let's get started.
Okay. First thing that was posted. God, I screamed loud, didn't I? First thing was from Monica Akers, Lindsay.
Are these all for me or are they for us to discuss?
They're for us.
Okay.
The picture is me and you together over a bright lit romantic moon over the ocean. So I didn't put myself on there. It's us together.
I'm surprised you didn't put just yourself on there, to be honest.
Monica Akers, or as people like to call her, Monica. She says, happy anniversary, and gives 2 hearts. What do you got? Do you want me to answer this one, or would you like?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Monica, you're about 4 months too late.
Or early, depending on how you want to look at
it. That's a good way to, glass half empty, glass half full. Like, Monica, thanks for the early anniversary. That's how we say it. Thanks for the early anniversary wishes. All right, now to the meat and potatoes of the episode. The first one comes from Garrett Newsome. He said, what did you order at the dairy bar on the day your lives would change forever?
And you may want to take this one because I could not tell you. I don't even remember. I
can.
You can remember what I ordered too?
Yes. Okay. Ever since we've been together almost 20 years, you've not strayed away from.
Go ahead. I can't wait to hear this. I have no idea.
I'll take a hot ham and cheese with no tomatoes.
Where was this at?
Fat Daddy's when we got engaged.
And I got a hot ham and cheese?
Yes. With
fries. Always did me right.
Always did. And I got a Stromboli with an order of jalapeno poppers. I'm pretty sure. Don't hold me to that one, Garrett. It was either jalapeno poppers or a small order of chili cheese fries. But yeah, that was the night we got engaged again. So
again,
yeah, it was.
We'll talk about that in some of these other questions, I'm sure.
But it was a good night. You know, we pulled in.
It was a good night. Nothing big and fancy, just us being ourselves. And
the first time we got engaged, it was when the Minneapolis, is that how you say it? Minneapolis bridges collapsed. It's a history lesson for y'all. Go back and look at it. There was like a turnpike or something, and all these bridges collapsed in Minnesota. But that was the first time, and we may talk about that later. I'd rather not, but here we go. Crystal and Jared Gerald.
Was there more to Garrett's question, or was that it?
He said, "What did you order at the dairy bar on the day your lives would change forever?"
Oh.
What did he mean by change forever? If I close my eyes forever.
Could be good or for the better or for the worse.
Yeah. So Crystal Jared Gerald says, when did you two know you really liked each other?
That's a hard one.
That's a good one for me. I knew pretty early on that I had a respect for you and I liked you a lot. When you came the first night at the house and we watched Joyride. And
this was easier for you. I don't really like to talk about my feelings. Look here, I'm getting a phone call.
You can talk later. Film an episode here. But yeah, that was the first date we kind of had. And
yeah, but he said really like
I can remember it. I can remember it.
I don't think there was one specific like time that it just clicked. I think it was just being together, having similar
I can remember when I
humor.
started falling in love with you. I can remember that because every little thing made me think of you and stuff. If I bought a power ballad CD, I could relate to all the songs on it, or I just become real because I think that was maybe your junior year. I used to be a wild man at one point, but once I started really settling down and thinking, like, it's weird because our age gap is kind of it's not a huge age gap, but she was in high school when I was out, and
it was just we were at different places in life.
Yeah,
at the time, not really the age gap. It was just different places in life.
Well, you were in high school and I was working a full-time job,
right?
Like a man, providing for myself, paying bills at 19 years old, going to Velvet Revolver concerts.
Paying bills, no, I'm down.
But no, it's your turn. When did you know you liked me? And that's,
I said I don't
it ain't fair.
I'm trying to be honest with you. It wasn't one. I mean, I have a terrible memory, but it wasn't one specific time that it just dawned on me. I said, I just think spending time together, becoming each other's friends, becoming each other's best friends. I think that's how you that's how you build a relationship. That's why our relationship has lasted as long as it's lasted, because we're friends. Like, I tell you stuff, you tell me stuff, we crack up about the same things. I mean, we're just
good buddies, like a brother, sister.
No, but who's the first person you want to call when something good happens? You shouldn't have to think about that.
I mean, it was obvious.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
But that could have been anybody. You could have picked
No, it's not. That's not the
just
same.
spending time together. I mean, there was attributes that you either had to like about me.
He didn't ask, what do I like about you? He said,
what is one
when did you know you liked each other?
Well, I can tell you, I'm straight.
You were good to me.
All right.
You had a good sense of humor. You were funny. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing Truth Is.
Well, no. No, I mean, if that's the truth, say it. I mean,
truth is,
you're funny.
You're cute.
You look good without a shirt. All right. Crystal and Jared have more questions. What is the one thing? Wait a minute. What was your favorite date together?
That's a good one.
Is it?
That's a good question. I'm okay. I'm gonna go with the one that sticks out most in my mind, and that's when we took that trip to
Frozen.
the lake.
Oh yeah, that
I
was a good
liked that
time. That was
trip.
a good
It
time.
was just me and you. We went and got food. We had a campsite, and
Do you
we.
remember that good?
That's the one that stands out in my mind the most. We went down by the lake and was gonna swim. You kept slipping and falling on all the algae.
And you know something, we took Max fishing, what was it? About 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and we were sitting on that rock. And there was a couple that come down and got in that water, young couple. And it was kind of like how we was. It made me think of how we did that day. You remember that? I filmed them.
Yeah, we didn't get in the water though.
Yeah, we did.
No, we did not.
I did.
You did. I didn't. I don't swim in the lake.
Well, you know, you're missing out on the good things in life.
But
That was a good one.
we had that little tiny tent that you borrowed off Ed. It was more like a doghouse.
Yeah.
We ended up staying till like what, 2 in.
And then what did we do? Because I remember.
Then I think we went to Walmart. Did we go to Walmart?
We did.
We bought like snacks and a movie.
Do you remember what movie?
American History X.
God, this really meant a lot to you.
And we went home or back to your house and we ate those snacks and we watched. That was my first time ever watching American History X, which became one of my favorite movies of all time. And then yeah, that was probably my favorite date that we've ever had.
I'm gonna tell you something. That was a great one, but one of the dates that stick out in my mind is when we went over to Brent and Nina's at High Hat, and Dodie was with us that night, and you pretended like you were smoking a cigarette to make me mad.
You call this a good date?
It sticks out.
That's not a good date.
But you pretended like it to make me mad. Do you remember what I did next?
You threw a piece of pizza at my head,
and
it slid down the wall and left sauce all.
Was that the end of the pizza? Because Craig Johnson came over and picked the pizza up and ate.
I thought that was the end of it.
That was the end of the pizza because Craig ate it. But no, we had a lot of good times.
That's not a good date.
That was a funny moment. A good date was, I liked when we go watch UFC over at Brent and Nina's and order food.
That wasn't a date. That was us and other people. That was a crowd hanging out together. Like a date would be us, just the two of us.
Do you remember when we went and watched Wolf Creek?
No.
Must have not been a good movie.
I think we left. Oh, just spit on.
We were finishing each other's sentences.
I think we left in the middle of it.
We did.
Yeah.
But now we
Your
did.
dates are terrible. You don't remember anything good.
Buddy.
I liked hanging out with my buddies. That was a good date. And I liked throwing a piece of pizza at your head. That was a good date.
No, but I mean things that stick out. Now a good date was when we rented all the Saw movies.
That was a good date.
Hold on here. Let me tell my.
You wanted me on this podcast.
You told your piece. A good date was when we went to your house, went to Walmart, decided we was going to have a what? We were going to have a
sleepover.
Was it a
slumber party?
Slumber party. That's what we called it. And we went to Walmart. We bought the first 3 Saw movies. We got chips, salsa, and bean dip, and guacamole. And we got a bunch of sweets. And we watched all the Saws and sit Indian style in her bed. And
we laid all that food out like a buffet, like all over the bed.
Like I'd just grab a turkey leg and start eating. And
we literally sat up all night long
and watched them. And that was a good date too. That was fun. We done stuff like that all the time though, but that one stuck out because it was all 3 Saws. You know, we was kind of like Mama Lou, whereas if we got a wild hair up our hind end at 2 a.m, we'd go to Walmart and all right, here's the one that might get heated. Crystal said, what is one thing the other person does that gets on your nerves? Lindsay, be easy on him.
Oh gosh, there's so many.
Be honest, I'm a big boy.
Oh, I'm thinking.
Wow, not much apparently.
What do I do that gets on your nerves?
Nothing really anymore.
anymore.
Used to be real mean, mad at me all the time.
That's because you did stuff that would get on my nerves.
Like what? Which led to the question.
Okay, just like that. Okay, it's weird things that get on my nerves.
Me putting a clown hat on. Walk.
The other day, I go into the bathroom and we have like a toilet paper roll beside the toilet, and it's empty. So instead of him switching out the toilet paper roll, he just takes the new toilet paper and sits it on top of it.
You never said a word about that.
Yeah, stuff like that aggravates me. Or the best thing is when he has new stuff, and literally the kitchen table is right beside, like the garbage can is like 3 feet from the kitchen table. So he'll rip tags off things and he'll lay it on the kitchen table instead of walking it 3 feet to the garbage can. Or when you put food garbage in the bathroom garbage, that's disgusting.
I've never done that.
You put food garbage in the bathroom garbage.
I put a pop can in there.
That's food garbage.
No, that's a pop.
That's kitchen garbage.
Food garbage.
That's kitchen garbage. That's gross.
Thanks.
Or I could keep going.
Well, hey, listen, keep going. Maybe I'll change.
Yeah, right.
But no, you don't do nothing. Gets on my nerves. You were just mad at me all the time. That was as far as that.
That's because I live a stressful life.
But,
sometimes.
But no, you never got on my nerves.
You're lying.
What would you think you do?
I mean, I have to do something that gets on your nerves.
I can't think of anything except being mean to me.
Just don't want to say it.
Oh, I promise. When you say, all right, make me work out this week. Make me work out this week.
I'm worried something's wrong.
Take it and tell them what's going on. The only thing really she ever did that got on my nerves was snap at me all the time. Snap at me, trying to make me do better and stuff. Who was it?
Mom.
What'd she say?
Nothing. Told her I'd call her back.
And that's how we actually operate anytime she gets a phone call. Who was that? What did they say? But no, as far as getting on my nerves, you don't, man. At all. But anyways, what I was telling you before we got a phone call there was make me work out. I don't care what I say or what I do, make me go down there. Okay, 2 days later, you ready to go down and work? No, I ain't doing it. Don't aggravate me. They really don't aggravate me. It's just like, don't get mad at me for doing what you told me.
Does that get on your nerves though?
I got good nerves when it comes to stuff like that. Like I'm real easy going, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you definitely are. Too laid back sometimes.
Like
when you leave all your dirty clothes on the floor for me to pick up. Or the best one. This ain't just Adam. This is
men in general.
No, well, you and Max, as soon as all the dishes are done at night and we're ready for bed and the kitchen's clean and it's just like a really good feeling to have all that finished and clean. You hear cereal being shook into a bowl and you hear milk going into the bowl and then there's dirty dishes back in the sink and then you get up the next morning and there's crumbles of cereal, crumbs all over the countertop.
This is what happened when a perfectionist marries a normal human.
I'm not a perfectionist. I just know how to clean up after myself. Like if I'm pouring a bowl of cereal and I spill crumbs beside my bowl, I wipe them up.
What was it Borat said? Well, that looked like I'm holding a gypsy as I eat my crumb.
All right.
Yeah, please. I know what I'm going to do after this. I'm going to fix a bowl of cereal and leave the crumbs on the island. So my mom says, and mom don't even get on Facebook much anymore. I've noticed that the AW from Bo's Tractor Works has really worked on my face, though. I must give Bo Matheny. I mean, look at that. All the lines are gone and everything. Smooth skin. Mom says, I listen to you both when you are together, and all I hear is both of you talking and laughing with each other often. So what I want to know, after all these years of marriage, what keeps the humor between you two? Well, Mom, we're just funny people, I guess. We like to laugh and cut up. And 10 out of 10, I like to laugh. How often? 4 out of 10, you would like to laugh, probably.
No,
Buddy, I don't know. What would you say? We just get along pretty good and laugh and cut up.
I don't know. I guess
But
it's just because we're happy and we like to be happy. We make a choice to get up every morning and be happy because we're so blessed.
I don't know if that's the answer that she was looking for. I think she was wanting to know.
What keeps the humor between us? I mean, it wouldn't be funny if we were miserable. So we're just happy people.
So you heard it first, Mom. What keeps the humor between us is we're just happy. Just happy people. Happy people like to
Well,
laugh.
what's your answer?
I just think that we like to laugh. Like before I met you, you always had this look on
Oh
you.
my God, here we go.
That was the look when I came along.
Oh, please. Yeah, you just. Go ahead. Next question.
Next question.
That's such a fake laugh.
Sydney Newsome says, favorite memory as a family of 3. That's a good question.
Gosh,
We're not allowed to say the name of the other person that lives in
He
this
told
house.
us we weren't allowed to mention his name.
Yeah, he's too cool for the Wild Time podcast. He's got copyrights, so we're just gonna call him that feller upstairs. Man, we've had so many.
So many.
Colorado sticks out.
I can't say I mean, we just had so many. I'm gonna say
I got mine.
I can't name a favorite, but one of my favorites was when we went to WrestleMania and Max was obsessed with the Hardy Boys, like absolutely obsessed. And we had heard rumors that they were going to come back that night, but I don't think
nothing
anybody
was
knew
official.
for sure.
Yeah.
And when their music hit, just his face and just the look on his face and how happy he was and just crying tears of joy and screaming and was just so thankful. And that's one of my favorites for sure. I mean, there's just so many. When we went to see Portland play in Indiana.
That was a good one too. I liked when we took him to see Portland play in Charlotte too.
Yeah, when we took him to see LeBron play in Cleveland, and he went into the fan shop and went shopping, and just LeBron broke Michael Jordan's all-time double-digit scoring record. I mean, we've just done so much together. Whitewater rafting in Colorado. That was a great time.
I liked it when, we didn't have a lot of money or anything, but we went and met the people from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he dressed up as Leatherface. We dressed him up. I was going to mention that too. And this was right before Gunnar Hansen died. I mean, like a year or two before he died. Marilyn Burns died. We got to take him, and we were still living up in an apartment and stuff, and we saved up money putting in swimming pools and cleaning the spine and brain centers and banks just to save up money to go up there. And the reaction he got from all the people from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, they loved him to death. I'll never forget that. That was cool. That was a cool time. I like the trips to Myrtle Beach when he was young.
Me too, yeah.
I mean,
we could sit and talk about this forever. I could reminisce about this forever. Even the little things, just a lot of people
Scarefest
don't like to travel, but that's one of the main reasons that I would rather drive places instead of fly, because once they get older, they don't want to hardly give you any attention. So if you trap them in a car for 13 hours on a trip to Florida, you get to spend time with them and they become a kid again instead of an old bratty teenager, and they talk to you and laugh and cut up and talk about things, and you listen to music and you just have conversation. And that's one of the main reasons that I like to drive, like just the trip to Colorado.
Yeah.
Like when we got to stop in Kansas at all those supernatural places, and just I loved all that. It was awesome.
So yeah, we've got several of them, Sydney, and you knew a lot of them.
And you were part of a lot of them too.
I mean, for the first 12, 13 years of your life.
And I think my favorite, since that Sydney's question, my favorite moment with Sydney was the apple. Will and always be the apple at Scarefest. Sydney holding that apple.
So Chris Sarandon from Fright Night was at Scarefest, and Jerry Dandridge always ate an apple on Fright Night. So I found an apple at the house and packed it. Well, we go down to meet him, and we're talking. We're getting ready to take a family picture, and I tell Sydney, hold this apple, and she's holding this apple, and we take a big picture together with Chris Sarandon, and she's just holding the apple. It's real funny. It's just one of them moments where you had to be there. Mom had another one. She had a two-parter. What are your plans for life after Max is married and you have both retired?
Well, Adam gets to retire a while before I do.
7 years.
That's all you got left. But I have to work till I'm 55.
You ain't too far off.
Yeah, I'm pretty far off. But anyway, that's all going to depend on Max, to be honest with you. I know nobody likes a clingy mom, but that's how I am.
I will probably continue to
I'm hoping that I have a lot of grandchildren by the time I retire, not soon. That's the one thing now that Max is kind of getting up there, becoming a teenager and don't really want to hang out with us as much anymore. I guess I'm just looking forward to, as he gets older, having grandchildren. I'd like for me and Adam to travel a lot. Want to get me one of them vans, them RV or vans.
Winnebago. I think that I will continue to do the Bears Den, probably more actually when I retire. I'm going to continue doing podcasts. Hopefully we'll be huge at that point, Wild Time, and we'll get like lots of money from it, sponsorships, and it'll be a big deal.
That will pay for my traveling.
Yeah, and hopefully she gets to travel like she said, and I get to go with her, and we get to go where she wants, and then go visit like film locations of places like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Dirty Dancing.
If it's on the way of where I want to go.
But I'll take you. So yeah, grandkids.
Traveling.
I want to stay where I'm at, kind of though. I don't want to leave here.
If Max leaves here, I'm gone.
It'll be me in this big house by myself.
It sure will be.
And the dog.
Nope, he goes with the mama.
You don't want to be that mom that goes and aggravates him and stays on his case. You gotta.
So you're telling me if him and his wife decides to leave the state with our grandchildren, and they're openly like, yeah, you guys should come with us. We want you all out there with us, so we don't have to do daycare while we're at work.
His wife ain't gonna say it.
I know, this is my dream.
Well.
So I'm just saying, if that was the situation, you wouldn't just leave and go where your kid.
If me and him sit down and talk, and he's like, Dad, I promise you, we want you all to come, then I would consider it. You
would consider it? I'd already be packing my bag.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't know. It's like I want us all to stay real close until I die. But
okay, next question.
This one's for you from Brett Big Swag Wagner. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 03 alumni, Sons of Anarchy alumni, the Crazies alumni, and good friend of mine. He said, do you like watching Adam wrestle? Do you get nervous when he is in the ring?
I don't necessarily. I'm glad that he gets to wrestle. I'm glad that he gets to do something he likes to do. And I support him as long as he wants to do it, but I don't really go a whole lot. Sometimes I go, and it's fun when we go. It's a good laugh and stuff. But I don't get nervous. No. Now, when he would used to train and like fight like
MMA.
MMA, I would get really nervous. Really nervous.
Which one was you most nervous at?
Both of them. Not wrestling.
No.
Just when you fought MMA.
What about tough man competition?
I wasn't as nervous in that one because you all had gloves and headgear.
And I got hurt in it.
Well, yeah, but you just threw your shoulder out. It wasn't like you got beat to death or something. But yeah, I used to get real nervous when you fight MMA.
After I won, how did you feel? He said.
Relieved. I was glad you won, but mostly I was relieved, especially because Max was there in the front row. I'd hate him for to see his daddy get whooped.
That's one thing I used to be most nervous about getting whooped. It was the embarrassment in front of my family that was the biggest concern. I don't know how many times you.
I mean, you wouldn't have anything to have been embarrassed about.
Well, no, but until you're in that
I can
situation,
see how that would. Yeah.
Until you're in that situation where it's you and another fella in front of a crowd, and it's a shoot situation, and I mean, it's a different feeling. It is a different feeling, buddy. Different feeling, fun feeling. It ain't for everybody, but it's like you said, ain't nothing. If you've lost, it ain't nothing to be ashamed of. If you've got the cojones to go in there. Got a question for you, Lindsay. Comes from my buddy Hardcore Hall. He says, do you always support Adam when it comes to all his different extra activities other than work? And have you ever gotten to the point of telling him you've had enough and you would rather have him just work and not be involved in so many things?
No, you ever heard that old saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder? I think that's why we get along so well. Because we're still two individual people. Adam does what he likes to do. I do what I like to do. I support him and all his extra stuff. If I had anything extra going on, he supports me. At the end of the night, when it's bedtime, we come together, we lay down, we talk for a few minutes. How'd your day go? What'd you do? This, that, and the other. And then all again the next day. So not really. I mean,
the longer you're with somebody too, the more you trust them, and
it's important to, no matter how long you've been with somebody or dating somebody or whatever, it's important to still have your own identity.
Yes.
Be your own person and not
a puppet.
Or well, not a puppet, just
clingy.
Forget yourself. Like it's important for you to take the time to do things that you enjoy. Like I love to read. So, he lets me, well, he don't let me.
You can today, but not tomorrow.
I'm saying if I want to lay on the couch and read a book, you don't come in there and be like, you're lazy, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I would hurt my feelings if somebody did me that way. That would not be that.
Or like, when I'm going to school and taking classes, you supported me. When I was coaching cheer, when anything that I decided to take on too. So like I said, it's just important to make sure you have your own identity.
Never be with somebody that tries to control, like not let you be
you.
Yeah. I mean,
now, do I aggravate him a lot? Yeah. Do I make fun of him a lot in a fun way? Yeah. Because it's funny, but I do support him.
And I'm thankful that she does. Always has, really. When I was fighting, I used to have to train for like 3 months, and I'd go right after work and train at Mayfield for 2 hours. And Max was he was tiny.
He was little, yeah.
But I still took him with me at times.
Mm-hmm.
I still wanted him with me because I'd look over and he would inspire me. And, but always, just like I said, the older you get, you look back and you appreciate things like that, man, because when you're in your 20s or late 20s, even early 30s, you really just don't even think about it. But when you get a little older, that's like I was talking tonight about Brady Robinson with his uncle, and I was telling him, right now he's just 19, 20-year-old kid, don't even realize what athleticism he has. It's going to be when he's 30, 35, when he looks back and says, man, that was something. I was a heck of an athlete. All right. Terry Daniels, the great Terry. She says, how far into the future will Max be getting a sibling? He's got
Max,
one.
yeah, his name's Champ. It's his little brother. No, we did try a couple of times after Max was born. Was he about 3?
I think he was 2.
He was 2 or 3. And I miscarried. And then after that, we tried for a while and just never could get a positive result. And I went to the doctor a couple of times, and they were just basically like, I would have to do fertility and all this stuff. And I didn't want to go that route.
Well, it was so easy with Max.
Yeah.
I mean, it was easy.
Literally with Max, we said,
as soon as we got married.
As soon as we got married, because we had been together, 4 or 5 years before we got married. So we knew that we wanted to start a family as soon as possible. Like, we wanted to be young parents. And then it was so easy. We were like, let's have a kid. And the next month I was pregnant, wasn't it? That's how it worked.
It was so fast that people around the community that thought she was pregnant. We just got married because she was pregnant, which is hilarious. But it wasn't like that. It was just
it just happened. So, like I said, we had a conversation literally a few weeks after we got married and was like, let's start a family, and then it happened. But after that, I don't know. It was just difficult. And like I said, we tried.
We talked about it and stuff, but like, I think we just basically wanted our life to be us 3.
Well, and we said 2 for a while there. If it happens, it happens, and it didn't. And that's, I'm blessed either way. So.
Yeah, you can't. I'm just couldn't be any more blessed. So no sibling unless
it's furry and has 4 legs.
Furry and has 4 legs. Stacy Newsome says, I want to know the best and worst dinner each of you have ever cooked.
I'm sure I've cooked a lot of bad dinners.
You haven't.
But he's not going to be honest, or I won't feed him anymore. I'm going to say this, and I can remember this. And if you know me, you know my memory's horrible. So this goes to show you how bad this was. I don't remember for the life of me. I want to say it was Darby.
How you doing, bud?
Somebody gave Adam some type of meat. Was it deer meat? I don't know. It couldn't have been deer meat. It was, anyway, this is when we lived in the apartment up Mud Creek. And
God, them were good days.
Oh my gosh. And he come home with this in a bag and said, I'm gonna try to cook this. I'm gonna cook this. You could not go in the apartment for days without smelling that nasty
human flesh.
That's what it smelled like. It was awful. Awful. I mean, you walk in, open the door, and it would gag you off.
So this is my worst meal that I've ever cooked, right?
Yeah.
My best meal would be macaroni and tomatoes.
Yes. Or, no, I'll tell you what I like better than that. When you make the noodles with the tuna
Newsome.
and the eggs. And yeah.
That's passed down from my dad.
Well,
he puts tuna fish.
Thank you,
Ed. Eggs. He puts relish, Miracle Whip. He also puts onions in his. I don't. And he don't put as much Miracle Whip as I do. He puts pepper in his too.
Yeah.
I don't put pepper, but it's modified. It's like an Ed Newsome light. Well, I throw enough Miracle Whip in.
But what's the worst thing I've ever cooked?
It ain't due to you not being. It's just you're struggling to fix the gravy.
Oh yeah, I cannot fix.
It's not
gravy.
due to you.
No,
fixing it and not being. You're trying.
Can't fix homemade gravy. Does anybody else have this struggle? I cannot fix homemade gravy. I know what to use. I know the recipe. I've literally put my mom on FaceTime, who makes the best homemade gravy ever. I've put her on FaceTime, and she's walked me through it and watched me step by step by step, and it still turns out terrible.
I don't think it's terrible.
It's terrible.
I like it. You fix really good spaghetti. It's unbelievable. Really good spaghetti. Her ziti was awesome too. She don't fix them no more. We just got a random question popped up. Just got a random question from Todd Meadows. He said, "What is the origins of Lindsay Friday?" Well,
that's for you.
That's for me. I'm going to tell you right now. Lindsay Friday happened about 2 years ago, I'd say, and it's because I just think she's a wonderful woman. I think she deserves her own day of the week, and I like to reminisce and just go back through my old pictures, and she's just a good woman. Just a good woman that deserves, and Friday is the best day of the week. It's when the weekend's getting ready to start. And I always said, she probably don't even look at them or nothing, but I do it because I appreciate her. And I think if you have somebody good that you love and is a good partner, you should celebrate them. And, I come from a different, I guess most men aren't doing that. That's stupid.
You can't. Well, some people say that, but not. Some people just aren't as extroverted as you, and that's okay. That don't mean just because you don't post something about somebody every 5 seconds does not mean you don't love them or feel the same or care about them. So, you can't say people that don't do that.
No, I'm saying people say that's stupid.
Some people, yeah.
I'll make her do it for me, or.
Who do you work with? Whatever.
No, not people I work with, but just men in general.
I'd say a man that acts like that probably don't have nobody.
Well, it is. A lot of men are too. They think it makes them look weak or something, but when you've got a good, strong woman with you, it makes you stronger.
It makes you look weak to love your wife.
A lot of men think it does.
I could see that nowadays, especially.
That ain't nobody getting Karen Fridays or Karen Tuesdays or anything like that.
Why'd you pick Karen out of everybody?
I was just thinking,
Karen.
She had another one. She also don't know how often Adam has gotten deep into a conversation, and Lindsay has to either remove him or entirely while he continues this conversation. I am the Adam in my relationship, so I have saw this happen through the years. I'm guessing it's when I've got something I'm really excited about and I'm talking to you about how much it means to me, and you've just had to be like, all right, change the subject or something like that.
I took this as in when we're out in public and you want to stop and speak to everybody, or like when you run into somebody you will approach people that in Walmart. As to me, I'm like dunking behind the aisles and turning the opposite direction.
You think people dread seeing them?
No, I just think that's the difference in their personalities.
We've had some instances in Walmart too.
Yeah, I love people. But I'm just I don't know what you would call it. Strange, I guess.
No, you ain't strange. That's just your prerogative.
You want to tell them about the instance at Walmart, or should we not?
No, we should definitely tell this. I've told this story a bunch of times. I'm not ashamed of it. So,
well, let's make sure you don't say any names.
I don't even know the feller's name.
Well, don't say any names.
So, anyways, me and Lindsay, when we were struggling young parents, were cleaning the bank and Spine and Brain Center, which I still look back on awesome times because we did it to save money.
I was going through school at this time, trying to get my degree.
And I wasn't making much money, but we were doing what we needed to do to make sure our kid got a good Christmas. So we would go after we got off work and clean these buildings and stuff, which we're lucky we got to do. And it was rough work. It was rough.
Nasty work.
So we're wore out and stuff, and we go to Walmart to get diapers. So that tells you how long ago it was. I don't know where this figure appears. And he's like,
no, I hear him. You're in front of me. I was like 2 steps behind you, and I hear Adam, hey, Adam. And I didn't know. I just kind of tapped Adam, and I was like, there's somebody back here that keeps hollering at you. And Adam turns around and goes over to him, and I just kind of kept walking. Like I walked off a little ways because I just thought it was somebody he knew that wanted to talk to him. I didn't know that all heck was getting ready to break loose.
This clown got me over that. Now listen to
We
this.
were in the diaper aisle. Like we literally, it was late. We were wore out. We were in the diaper aisle. Like we literally were making a really quick stop to run in and get Max some diapers. That tells you how long ago this was because he was still in diapers. And so this all went down in the diaper aisle.
Right next to the milk in Walmart.
Yeah,
right
the
next to the
last
dairy. So I go over here and I said, well, yeah, I didn't know who it was. Don't know who it is today. I mean, I know who it is.
We know a name, but
right.
we
never met the dude in my life. And he was dressed like the Unabomber. He had a hat on, glasses, a hood on. I mean, I walked over and said, hey, what you doing, buddy? Because I didn't know who it was. He said, so-and-so. Now listen to this. So I take pride on being a good husband. Anyways, number one. So-and-so sent me over here to tell you to quit calling her and messaging her.
And I didn't want to say anything
in front of your wife. And I said, immediately, like, you remember how the Hulk dude used to turn in the Hulk?
He did, but he didn't.
It went way quicker, too. Whatever was inside of me went way quicker than that. So I grabbed.
I hear him, all I hear, because like I said, I'm in front of Adam a little bit. I just wandered off. And that goes back to Stacy's question, kind of how do I do? Well, when he's in these conversations, I wander off. And so all I hear is, no, you're going to tell my wife that, with a few other words. So I turn around and like just am kind of taken aback at what's going on. Adam's fuming. This guy looks afraid.
He should have been.
And I was like, at this point, had no idea what was going on.
So once he seen that I meant business and took my jacket off and slung it down and drew a line in the sand and let him know that this ain't a game, he started like trying to backpedal. Yeah. Said, I'm just telling you what she said. Don't get mad at me. Calm down. And I'm like, no.
So tell him what he was trying to say was his girlfriend at the time tried to say Adam was messaging her on Facebook and like wouldn't leave her alone.
Yeah.
Just weird stuff, random stuff. So that's what he was trying to say.
Thinking that was it. But I said, where is your wife or your girlfriend? It was his girlfriend.
It was his girlfriend. I
said, where is she? And then, buddy, that was it right there. He's like a horse getting ready to stop from jumping off a cliff. And he said, she's up there. And I said, up where? And he said, down through there. And I was like, well, take us to her. Take us to her, I said. That's a man that's innocent. And bless her heart, because she had no clue of this. Me and Lindsay are walking behind this guy. And this guy had about 35 seconds of thinking, what am I going to say? Look what I've got myself into. I'm an idiot. And we come walking down the aisle with, and she's on the phone, I think.
She was getting food from the freezer. She was smiling.
Yeah,
when she
waved at
us. She threw her hand up and waved at us. This girl was totally innocent in all of this.
100%.
100% innocent in all this.
And it's sad.
Go ahead.
But anyways, we got there, and I just didn't know what to say at that point. We were there in front of her, and he didn't know what to say. So he said, there he is. And she's like, what are you talking about? They're
still smiling.
Yeah, what are you
talking about?
And he said, Adam Newsome, you remember what you told me? Remember what you told me. And she's like, no, what are you talking about? And he said, oh, why do you F with my head like this? And she looked at me and Lindsay and
said, he said, you told me that he was bothering. He said in front of her what he accused you of. He's like, you told me he wouldn't leave you alone.
Did he really?
Yeah. And she was like, just looking at him, and she was like, no, I didn't. And she kept looking at me and Adam saying, I'm so sorry. I don't even know what's going on. I'm so sorry. Like, she apologized to us 100 times.
And they effed each other and left. They said the F word. But I just had a vision. You know, I've got a real wild imagination anyways. And I just looked, and I just had a vision of grabbing him and running him through that glass milk container, bringing him back out, taking him to the other one, going
You
through.
watching the action movies.
I don't, because.
But anyway, so all this, I want you to listen where all this stemmed from. When after we got home and on the way home, we were talking about it. And we were trying to put like 2 and 2 together. Wow, it didn't even make sense. Like we didn't even know this guy. But so all of this stemmed from
Maniac knew him.
Well, we ain't supposed to mention names.
Ain't nobody named Maniac.
Well, a few weeks prior to this, Adam was in one of his friends' wedding and walked that girl down the aisle.
And they posted pictures.
Adam was a groomsman. That girl was a bridesmaid. They walked together down the aisle. I mean, I was there. Everybody, a lot of people was there.
I mean, it ain't her fault she got put with the best looking groomsman.
And they posted pictures, and that's where all of that stemmed from.
That is a jealous man.
That's wild.
And I feel bad for the girl this day.
I feel bad for her.
Totally.
Hopefully she got away from him, wherever she is and whatever's going on.
I like to imagine her with like 2 kids now, and they're at Cincinnati Reds games. And that dude's behind bars, safe from other people that.
Or maybe not behind bars. Maybe he just
mental institution.
Need to get some help.
There, yeah.
Because
he about got both arms ripped off and beat with him.
He was.
That was
problems.
All right, so that was just a bonus story. Anyways, it's a good one. It's a good one, though. I tell that a lot. A lot of people like to hear that one at my Q&A shows.
Go ahead.
My buddy Ken Contreras says a 3-part question. Part 1, when Adam started his wrestling career, what was the one thing that he always complained about when he got home?
Probably being sore. I got beat to death tonight.
All right. Part 2, what was the one thing he told you that he loved about being on the road?
On the road.
Like traveling with my buddy to the shows, like me and Mikey, and listening to music.
I guess just being with your friends, getting to talk about wrestling and stuff.
And part 3, if he could do anything over, what would it be, and would you support him in his decision?
If you could do anything over, you would have started wrestling when you were younger. I think, if we're talking about wrestling in particular.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think it all worked out the way it did, because I was big into fighting and MMA.
I mean, but if you could do it over, what would you do differently?
Buddy, I don't think I would have done anything.
I think you would have started when you were younger. I've heard you say a million times before, if I would have started when I was younger, I would have had more opportunity, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that if I had got started in my early 20s, that it's not, wrestling ain't ain't a married man it's not that ain't the lifestyle. Like legitimately traveling and stuff. I mean, really trying to make it is not. And
I'll be honest with you, if we couldn't have made it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I would have never done it, but I could have. I'm telling you, if there was one thing I could have done, it would have been a professional wrestler and drew big money. I could have done it. Me and Stone Cold going around. I mean, I could have feuded with him. Could have made something happen. But that's the thing. I'm happy. I couldn't be any happier than I am. I get to do things that I like on a small scale, but it also lets me know that it lets you know how good you could have been at something if you would have really went after it. So I get to test the waters on a lot of things I like.
I think it's all about what you want.
It is, man. Like I'll be able one day to say, man, I did wrestle, or I did, I've been in MMA, got put on a reality show.
Have my own podcast.
That's going to be big, though. This is going to be big. Hetty Smith said, celebrity crushes. Who is my celebrity crush?
Are we about out of questions?
Yeah. I'm going to say. I'm going to say.
My mind just went blank.
I like Tiana Taylor.
Never heard of her. What's she playing?
She was like a. She was like not. She was like a singer or something.
Oh my gosh, why can't I think of?
I like. Who am I trying to? I always liked Jenny McCarthy growing up. I liked Rihanna before she got all the tattoos. I'm missing somebody, I think. Am I?
I don't know. Why can't I think of who? I mean, I literally can see him
God.
in my mind.
Uh, Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, that's number one.
I'm trying to think, Teddy.
Help me, Adam.
Help you what? That's your mind. That's who you think.
Long hair, played in Game of Thrones, uh, Aquaman.
Jason Momoa.
Yes.
I never heard you one time talk about it.
Yes, him and Chris Hemsworth.
I thought it was Hugh Jackman.
Though he would be on down the list, but I thought we were just going to talk about Hugh Jackman's on there. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth, Jason Momoa.
Now, Jason Momoa and Chris Hemsworth are total different looking types of people.
But I like them both.
Well, there you go. You got a wife.
In my eyes, those. Well, I mean, as far as looks go, not on their personality, but those are perfect tens.
What about Adam Levine?
I tell you,
He weighs 130 pounds.
I lost any like that I had for him went away when he messed up with his wife. So he's a good.
Mia Sands she's a fitness model that used to be a big woman, and she lost all kinds of weight and worked out. I always thought she was a pretty woman. But mine are more old school. Like, I guess I grew up in the 90s where Jenny McCarthy, she was funny, she was pretty, she was just.
Truth is again.
Yeah. So celebrity crushes: Jason Momoa,
Chris
Hemsworth.
Now, when I was littler, I mean, I think as you age, you get different crushes. Like when I was young, my celebrity crush was Justin Timberlake. Who didn't love Justin Timberlake?
Well, yeah,
in
but
the 90s.
That was ever. I like Pink a little bit now. Like, I didn't like her at all, but the more I think about how she's aged and fun, I think she'd be a good wife.
And a good mom. She seems to be.
I think she would be like, I think she could be 60-year-old and still be up to have fun and stuff, like adventurous. And it ain't that she's a pretty woman.
No, her voice is amazing. I mean, in her music.
I don't want her to sing to me.
So how do you?
I just think she's a fun-loving person.
Through her, what made you think
dancing
that? Through her music. You said, I want her to sing to me.
But no, I got a lot of respect for her. That's the latest, I guess you would say. My buddy Devontae Smith. What separates your relationship from others? Why do you feel relationships aren't taken as seriously? And if you could redo your relationship, would you? So the first one, what separates our relationships from others? Well, I'm going to say I trust her. Been married a long time.
I'm going to say the relationships that don't work. I mean, not all the time, but they do not have a relationship with God. That's what I think.
Well, even that's the truth. You got to have God first and foremost in any relationship, in your life, period. But I think.
But what I'm saying, yeah, God has to be in all aspects of your life, including in your relationship.
Why do you feel relationships aren't taken as seriously? Well,
you know, a lot of people, and I agree with that answer to an extent. A lot of people, the first thing they'll say is social media,
internet,
but
losing weight.
I think a lot of it has to do with like instant gratification. People want what they want right when they want it, and then once it's over with, they don't even remember why they wanted that in the first place. It was just to feel a certain something for a moment of time. And then they realized, I'm going to say 7 out of 10 people after they cheat or whatever regret it and wish they hadn't have done that. So I feel like people want instant gratification. They don't want to think about what they're messing up in the long run, what they're going to lose in the long run.
I think like from my perspective, a lot of men in their 30s and 40s that cheat, it's more of a self confidence thing too.
But that
If
also,
a woman shows them a little bit of attention, they're all over it.
but I think that goes back to what I said. That's feeling good for that moment. And then when that moment's gone, look at everything you've lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's just how I feel.
No, that's a good
I'm sure
good
people
answer.
feel differently.
You just got to be all in, and trust is a big thing. It's the main thing, really.
Yeah, you have to trust each other. You have to.
Because I mean,
That's a miserable life.
if somebody cheats on you, they're going to do it regardless.
It doesn't matter what kind of social media accounts they have. It doesn't matter if you've made them block every girl on there. It doesn't matter if you have each other's passwords. If somebody wants to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you. If you have all their social media stuff, they're going to do it outside of social media.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. You're making yourself miserable if you don't choose to trust the other person.
It's miserable. It is. I could imagine. But.
And what was his first question? What separates our relationship from others? I mean,
we're older.
Not just that, a lot of people think we went through our stuff too. We just went through our stuff before we got married. We were together 4 or 5 years before we got married. I mean, we really went through stuff, but we also built a really strong foundation and had a strong foundation before we ever decided to get married.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's important too. Like we went through our breakups, we went through our hardships, we both dated other people for a while. We went through our stuff, but we always, would kind of come back to each other. And then we just, like I said, we built a solid foundation before we got married. And we were still young too, but.
Yeah. And I went crazy once. Like we were engaged and I really had about a 3-month breakdown, I guess. And I didn't even I messed up pretty bad. And luckily I got took back, but it could have been bad. Luckily. But that was a moment in my life where 3 months was a blur. And I don't recommend it for anybody, thankfully. And once that happened, once we worked out through that, it was on. Everything was good from that point on, in my opinion. And if you could redo y'all's relationship, would you? Yes. Redo it as how?
I started to say no.
Why?
Redo our relationship?
Yeah, I've had a good time. You ain't?
Does he mean start from the beginning and do it all over again, or
change,
go back and redo and change things?
I took it as do it all over again.
There's some parts I would want to do over again.
Since we got married?
I would like to start from the time we got married. Yeah. Yeah, if I have one wish in life, and this is how you know that you're living your best life. If I had, a lot of people will say high school is the best years of your life. Don't let it, don't blink and yada, yada, yada. That was not true for me. Liked high school, all right. It was not the best years of my life. You couldn't pay me to go back ever. Don't want to relive those years.
God.
The absolute best times of my life was being a mom. If I could rewind my life, if I had one wish, it wouldn't be for money or anything like that. It would be able to go back to the very day Max was born and redo everything all over again.
I would too. We talk about that pretty regular.
Yeah.
That was when you're living, when you've got your family and you're strong as a family, that's, you wish you could go back and do everything over as a parent that you could.
Hey, any more questions? I like this.
Yeah, Teresa just messaged and said, do you all both like the same types of music?
No.
No, we're polar opposites really on that. I like, oh, my knee. I'm a big classic rock guy. Love Guns N' Roses.
And I like all different types of music depending on what.
Oh, I do too. I do too.
I mean, but if most people, I don't know, I guess you would say
like your one genre.
Probably country. I listen to mostly country, but
you listen to more Taylor Swift.
I'm a Swiftie, and I'm not ashamed of it. I don't care.
But no, I like 80s music. I like a little bit of. I can listen to anything, but when it comes down to me, I'm a big hard rock, old school. Not hard rock is like head banging and screaming, hollering, but just a good groove. Guns N' Roses, Billy Squier, David Lee Roth, and Van Halen. Who am I forgetting? Rolling Stones. Just fun rock music. That's what I was. Robert Palmer. I mean, I could go on and on. But yeah, we go to each other's concerts and stuff. I went to Dirk Bentley with her, and who else?
Maroon 5.
Went to Maroon 5.
Train.
She's went to Guns N' Roses with me, Billy Squier, and Tesla. It was a good concert until Max called in the middle of it, wanted us to come and get him.
Where was he?
At Mom and Dad's. I told that story the other day to somebody. Dylan Miller says, where did you both meet? Well, I was working with my cousin Brent, and he suggested that I should call his girlfriend's little sister. And I said, I think she's a little bit too young. And he said, no, she's mature for her age. And I was like, yeah, but her parents probably think I'm a little too old. And we just met like that. And Nina would go to Brent's and drop her off at my place, and we'd watch movies and play PlayStation.
That's true.
That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Do we got any more? Looks like that's it.
You hear a beagle crying?
Yeah, beagle's crying up there. We're going on a cruise in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We will try to do one from the boat, another one of these. Because you heard, I like doing this.
I don't know about from the boat.
Why?
Because
listen, thank you all for tuning in. Next time, hopefully we'll have our pajamas on. I didn't know that. Stash just messaged talking about Scott Weiland and Iggy Pop, another good couple of musicians. But Bo's Tractor Works, the Appalachian Hills 11, everybody's been trying it. Everybody loves it. I put it on my elbows before I lift. It makes me feel so good. The AW skin cream. I always aggravate Lindsay and tell her to feel my face and my head. Do I or not? And weird ass hot dogs. Man, we've ate there a few times recently. And there is rumors that a human horror movie hot dog is going to be made. I mean, that is a cool feeling.
We'll have to do a podcast while you're trying it for the first time.
Yes, I'd like to have Richard on to talk about that. But I got to thank those guys. I mean, they sponsor me. You know, Bo takes care of me. Richard takes care of the show. I mean, it's good to get them out there. Support local businesses, man. they're busting their butts. They're working and doing something and making cool stuff. So listen, that's become like one of my big things. I tell everybody, listen, who did I get that off of?
I don't know, but I noticed that I'm not going to go back and watch this because I hate to watch myself on stuff. But I've caught myself saying literally like 30 times tonight during this.
Wasn't it Rocky when he was arguing on something? Listen, would you
Yeah.
listen to him? Hey, listen.
You're screaming.
You remember it?
Yes.
Listen to just would you listen? But no, thank you all for tuning in. It has been a blast. I love this woman with all my heart, and it's awesome that she agreed to come on here and do this. And just hug your wife, hug your husband tonight, and thank.
Like an infomercial. Oh, words that we need to leave them with. The preacher that married us. What did he say to us?
Do you think that was?
So really quickly, we had what my dad calls a drive-through wedding. We found a chapel in Tennessee. I think it was like $3,000. Our wedding lasted about 2 hours.
Then another wedding coming right behind us.
Then another wedding coming right behind us. But just some words of advice to leave you with that we have laughed about and giggled about since we got married.
Just have fun.
Just play together.
Play together. Just always remember that when you're fighting or when you're done fighting, play together. What did he mean by that? What we're doing now?
We're trying to sign off. If we get into that, we're gonna be on here for 30
okay
minutes.
Listen, husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends, children of all ages, just play together. But no, thank you. Hopefully we'll have some more guests lined up next week or two. Thank you.
We should have did Facebook Live too, so people could ask questions while we were going.
Okay, we'll do that next week. So there's actually an app that I'm going to get up my buddy John Henderson from Doomsday Crypt. He's got an app on Facebook where it's kind of like Facebook Live, but
we better sign off.
Yeah, we love you. All right, us if you need us.